From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Good Thursday morning. If you're tired of the winds, so am I, but we have more on the horizon for Sunday, a First Alert Weather Day in the Kittitas Valley. Peak wind gusts once again up around 60 to 65 miles per hour. They are relentless this spring. Even for this morning, we still have some residual breezes and gusts out there out of the north and west around 30 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, out of the south and west between, in general, 15 to 30 miles per hour for the base and the foothills and the blues. On to temperatures now, as we're in the 40s and 50s for the most part for lower elevations, but in the winds it's going to feel a little bit cooler than that. 30s up in the Cascades, 30s in the blues as well. Here's your day planner forecast for today for lower elevations. Clouds going to be building throughout the day. That is a precursor to some chances for rainfall that we're going to have for tonight. So here's the bottom line for the forecast. We'll have a round of showers likely tonight, especially in the foothills and mountains. Showers and thunderstorms likely again on Saturday, and very windy in the Kittitas Valley on Sunday again. So I'll touch on all these points coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, a school bus with children on board collides with a pickup truck in Kennewick, leaving one person hospitalized, and we have what police are reminding drivers of coming up.
Voting?
Yes.
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 A unanimous vote from the Richland School Board, what it means for a policy focused on race and curriculum, and how the district plans to move forward.
And it's part art, part aviation tool, and it's getting a makeover. Our very own Dan Hansen has a sneak peek at the new look of the massive Compass Rose. That and more is all coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Jade Elliott. It is Thursday, May 15th, and we began this morning in Kennewick. That's where a school bus crash sent one person to the hospital.
Now, this happened just before 2 p.m. at the intersection of 10th Street and Clearwater Avenue. A silver pickup collided with the school bus carrying several children. Thankfully, authorities say none of the injuries to the children were serious.
Yeah, the driver of the truck was taken to the hospital. Kennewick Police reminding drivers to stay alert, especially at busy intersections like that one.
So what it sounds like was the bus, from our understanding, was turning from 10th onto Clearwater, and a vehicle that was traveling on Clearwater collided with the bus in the intersection.
The school district did send out an alert to the parents of the children that were involved. We're also told another bus eventually came to pick the kids up, but at this time, KPD says the crash remains under investigation.
It all comes as Washington State Patrol is warning drivers to stay vigilant as we approach a historically dangerous time on Washington roadways. WSP says in the first 2 weeks of May, troopers have already responded to 12 deadly crashes and several serious injury collisions. As we head into summer, Washington State Patrol is urging drivers to stay alert during the next 90 days, typically what they call the 90 deadliest days on Washington roadways. Troopers are reminding drivers to buckle up, slow down, stay sober, and follow the rules of the road.
Moving on to a fire watch in northern Oregon. Pendleton Fire responded to a blaze behind the Walmart on Tuesday night, and officials say there were stacks of pallets and compressed cardboard bales that caught fire and were threatening structures. Units arrived and knocked the fire down before it could extend to those structures in the area, and luckily no one was hurt.
And before wildfire season officially starts, the American Red Cross Central Washington chapter is working behind the scenes to make sure people don't have to face the worst alone. So this Saturday, volunteers and local partners will help educate, prevent, and prepare the community for wildfire risks. Officials say of the homes that catch fire during a wildfire, 90% start from embers. So the event will be held from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. right off of South 2nd Street in Yakima. The public is asked to arrive by 9. Groups will then travel to Meadowbrook Estates.
Now on to an update from the Kennewick Police Department. Authorities say they've now identified the 2 suspects who were accused of stealing more than $1,000 worth of merchandise. This incident happened back on April 23rd at a store inside the Columbia Center Mall. And police say the 2 men walked out with several pairs of sunglasses without paying for them. And thanks to help from the public, both suspects have now been identified.
And following up on the Richland School Board, where a vote to eliminate their race and curriculum policy was held on Tuesday.
Voting?
Yes.
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 And the board has officially voted to eliminate the policy. The decision unanimous. In a statement, board members said they remain committed to reflecting the diversity of the community and classrooms in educational materials. They emphasize that students should continue learning social studies, civics, and U.S. history from nonpartisan perspective, free from political or personal bias.
And staying in local education news, several Kennewick schools are being recognized for exceptional performance during the 2023 to 2024 school year. The Washington School Recognition Program has honored 6 schools in the district for their achievements in student growth, for also closing learning gaps, and just overall academic success. They've placed them among the top 16% of schools statewide. Now, the honorees include Amistad and Southgate for helping close gaps, Cottonwood for achievement, and Endeavor, Vista, and Westgate for growth. So congratulations to all of these schools for their outstanding dedication to student success.
And the Hermiston School District is moving forward with safety enhancements at Desert View Elementary this summer. They're doing this using some money that was left over from the voter-approved 2019 school bond. The renovation project focuses on 2 key safety improvements: a new secure entry vestibule to better control access to the school building, and significant changes to traffic patterns for safer, more efficient student drop-off and pickup. To minimize disruption to education, the district scheduled the work as a summer blitz project. Construction is beginning and ending during the summer break when students are not on campus.
Looking ahead now to environment news, Washington is stepping up efforts to cut methane emissions from landfills.
Yeah, our Dan Hansen says the move could have a major impact on climate change.
Buried beneath mounds of trash is a hidden climate threat, methane gas. And state leaders say tackling it starts right here. When food scraps, grass clippings, and other organic waste break down inside landfills, they release methane, a greenhouse gas over 80 times more powerful than carbon dioxide over a 20-year period.
By reducing greenhouse gases like methane, now we can potentially have a much larger impact in the long term.
Washington is now focusing on landfills to meet its ambitious climate goals, a 95% cut in greenhouse gas emissions by 2050 compared to 1990 levels.
Well, climate change, we're seeing the impacts of that already with extreme weather events, whether it's a really big snowstorm over wintertime followed by a quick warm up that melts that snow quickly, leading to potential for floods, or we just see the snowpack going away a lot quicker, leading to drought conditions, leading to wildfires.
That means better methane capture systems, more composting programs, and keeping food waste out of the trash.
So that compliance and design planning piece is really important, because a lot of landfills, when they get these, this new regulation that comes down, sometimes they just don't really even know what it means for them. And so, or they do, but they have to plan for these projects. So this helped to pay for folks to hire somebody to come in and help them understand what they need to do. And
experts say these changes scale up. They could significantly cut methane emissions and help cool the planet faster. Officials hope that while tackling methane now will mean a cleaner, cooler future for Washington and the world. Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Dan. Now, the Department of Ecology says the application process is closed for now.
Yeah, but there is hope that more funding could reopen it soon. 5:09 and news out of Richland now. Have you ever looked down an airport runway and noticed what looks like a giant compass?
I have actually never noticed that.
I know, and now you will.
I know.
I know, now you will.
Well, it's called a Compass Rose, and the Richland Airport is getting one. So the Port of Benton is teaming up with the Mid-Columbia chapter of the 99s, which is a group of women pilots, to refresh and relocate the airport's 80-foot Compass Rose.
So this massive symbol actually helps pilots calibrate their navigation instruments with precision. It's a vital tool with an artistic twist.
Anytime that there's a change to avionics or different things inside the aircraft, then they bring the aircraft out to the Compass Rose and verify that it hasn't affected the compass inside the aircraft.
Fascinating. The 99s are no stranger to air markings. They've painted airport names and symbols across the state, but this will be their first ever Compass Rose. And they're doing it at the Richland Airport, and they're bringing up to 15 volunteers to get the job done. And they say surveying on all of this project will start on May 19th. It's going to take them, they said, about 150 hours of volunteer time.
Wow, but you're right. I'm going to notice it once it's done now.
Exactly. Now you're not going to be able to go to an airport without looking.
Exactly. Yeah. All right, coming up next here on Good Morning Northwest, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. clashed with lawmakers when he was questioned about vaccines, mass layoffs, and canceled medical research. And we'll have the details coming up right after the break.
But first, we want to give you that beautiful live look outside this morning. As starting to see a peek of the sunrise there from our Bi-Mart camera in Yakima. It is 10 minutes after 5, and when we come back from the break, we're going to check in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth and your First Alert forecast.
To me, Harlem is home, but home is also your body.
Last one, everyone.
I asked myself, why doesn't Pilates exist in Harlem? So I started my own studio. Getting a brick and mortar in New York is not easy. Chase Inc. has supported us from Studio 1 to Studio 3.
When you start small, you need some big help, and Chase Inc. was that for me.
Earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials with the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card from Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours.
Got a birthday coming up, celebrating a big win, or just want to gather the crew for a pizza and a good time? For decades, Hubby's Pizza has been the go-to spot for family, friends, and fun. Reserve your table and bring the whole gang. Kids, family, teammates, whoever loves great pizza and good vibes. Dig into your favorite pizza, hit up the fresh salad bar, and let the kids have a blast in the arcade. And if the party's at your place, no problem. Hubby's now delivers through Grubhub and DoorDash. A community tradition, a place to celebrate. Acquire the Hubby's habit today.
Welcome to Pasco, where we are building a community rooted in culture. Check out the Farmers Market downtown at Peanuts Park, Saturdays from May through October. Taste something new at one of our diverse local restaurants, the Pasco Specialty Kitchen vendor windows, or our growing food truck scene. And enjoy the natural beauty of our waterfront parks and the Sacagawea Heritage Trail. Shop small, explore local, and experience the spirit of Pasco. Naturally transformative.
Lather, rinse, repeat. It never feels like enough. It's not your products, it's your water. Culligan water softeners prevent damaging hard water buildup, revitalizing your hair and skin. Upgrade your routine with Culligan.
The whole damn building just came down. Send everybody. Evacuate now. Hey, Chimney.
Yeah.
This was our way out.
We're trapped.
The 911 season finale tonight on ABC.
Operation Best Friend, sponsored by As You Wish Real Estate Services, Christine Connolly, Realtor.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a zone-by-zone tour of this morning's temperatures. We're spanning from 33 to 45 in Kittitas County, 33 for Snoqualmie Pass, 45 for Vantage, 46 for Ellensburg. Down in the Yakima Valley, these temperatures spanning from 39 to 49, 39 for Sunnyside, 49 for Yakima, 44 in Union Gap. Then in the lower Columbia Basin, 40s as we're at 49 in the Tri-Cities, 47 up towards the Hanford site. And then for the Blue Foothills, also we're mostly in the 40s, 43 for Lexington, 45 for Milton Freewater, and in the 30s for the higher terrain of the Blues. Here's your coatcast for today for the Tri-Cities. A light jacket weather through the early afternoon. Then it's going to be some more t-shirt weather, as we'll still end up being about 5-ish degrees below average for this time of the year. So for today, mostly dry except during the late afternoon. Could have a few showers in the valleys, also up into the Cascades. And like I mentioned, these highs just a little bit below average for this time of the year. That means 60s and 70s for lower elevations. And the winds not going to be as impactful as yesterday, but still it's certainly going to be pretty blustery out there, especially in the Kittitas Valley. Some of those peak gusts around 45 miles per hour. For tonight, this is when we're going to have widespread chances of showers, not really thunderstorms, but the best chances going to be in the foothills and in the mountains. The valleys and basins certainly going to be a lot drier. Overnight lows down into the 40s for lower elevations. As we head into this weekend, a couple different things happen to our weather. We'll have showers and thunderstorms likely for Saturday, ferocious wind gusts for Sunday. I'll break down both those days coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. 5:15 in your national headlines this morning. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy's testimony before two congressional meetings yesterday got a little contentious.
Lawmakers pressed the nation's top health official over his controversial positions around vaccine safety and the impacts of his proposed budget cuts. Christiane Cordero has all the details.
This morning, lawmakers from both sides of the aisle critical of Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s vaccine skepticism. The secretary on Capitol Hill yesterday refused to call the measles vaccine safe and effective, despite medical consensus that it is, and after 3 unvaccinated people, including 2 children, died in an ongoing measles outbreak. Kennedy then telling lawmakers his opinions about vaccines are irrelevant.
I don't want to seem like I'm being evasive.
Yeah.
But I don't think people should be taking advice, medical advice from me.
A major public health official among those speaking out.
That is his job, is to give people the best advice that he can.
The secretary also falsely claimed most childhood vaccines have not undergone rigorous testing, corrected by the Republican chairman of the Health Committee and physician, Senator Bill Cassidy.
The secretary made the statement that no vaccines except for COVID have been evaluated against placebo. For the record, that's not true.
And on the slashing of the federal workforce at the direction of Elon Musk, Kennedy was pressed on the consequences of cutting 20,000 jobs, including lead exposure experts who were set to travel to Milwaukee, where students at several schools have been exposed to dangerous lead levels.
Now, Kennedy noted that he had reinstated some programs, including the World Trade Center Health Program.
And he also vowed to work with Democrats to lower the price of prescription drugs. And we'll update you once more information comes in.
Absolutely. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. When we come back, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth with your first alert forecast. Give me that live look outside from our Bi-Mart camera in Yakima. The sun just peeking over those hillsides and mountain ranges. Isn't that just gorgeous?
I love it.
I know, me too.
It's gorgeous every day, but it's like extra gorgeous.
But that's like extra.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. All right, when we come back, he's gonna break down what you can expect not just today, but through the weekend.
At US Cellular, you can get the amazing new iPhone 16 on us, plus $300 off any iPad, like iPad Air.
That is a great deal. And now an unprompted song to express my excitement.
Just know both devices have Apple Intelligence with Genmoji to express yourself.
iPhone 16 stuns. iPad Air waits in the glow. Sweet.
We should start a band.
Yeah.
Get iPhone 16 on us. No trade-in or plan requirements, plus $300 off any iPad. US Cellular, built for us.
Hi there, I'm Stacey Lee, and it's time again for the Great American Flag Swap. Bring your worn or tattered U.S. flag to Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking in Kennewick this Tuesday between 11 and 2, and swap it for a brand new Made in the USA American flag.
At Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking, we take pride in honoring the American flag. As Memorial Day approaches, we remember those who have served for our country. Our commitment to quality craftsmanship, superior service, and community support is a reflection of our love for this great nation. Join us this Memorial Day in honoring...
Get ready, Walla Walla. The sweetest season is here. Join us at the ballpark as the Walla Walla Sweets hit the field for another unforgettable season. Whether you're a diehard fan or just looking for a fun night out, there's something for everyone at a Walla Walla Sweets game. Grab your peanuts, popcorn, and Lucky Cap, because this season the Walla Walla Sweets are bringing the thrill of baseball right to your backyard. Don't miss out on the excitement. Get your tickets now and be part of the Walla Walla Sweets experience. Let's play ball.
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. A heartbeat strong, steady, unwavering. Like the people who keep this country moving. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. In every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard.
Now, well-qualified buyers can get 0.9% financing for 60 months on this Silverado. That's over $6,600 in average finance savings. See your community Chevy dealers.
Hello there. Watch live with Kelly and Mark.
Weekday mornings at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. For Sunday, we have another First Alert Weather Day once again in the Kittitas Valley. Peak wind gust up around 60 to 65 miles per hour, so just like what we saw yesterday. And we'll show you the build up to that. First, here's Futurecast radar for today. We pick up the action at lunchtime. Not much on the map at this point, just some increasing clouds, but around 4 p.m. this is when we could start to see some showers. Looks like it's going to end up being pretty light showers, but up in the Cascades, maybe down into the valleys. Then around 8 p.m., some of this starting to trickle down into the lower Columbia Basin. And then closer to midnight, this will be impacting the foothills and the Blues. But after that, really, I'll continue to step this throughout the day on Friday. Could have some leftover showers in the foothills or the mountains, but Friday is going to end up being a pretty dry day. Saturday, on the other hand, that's going to be a different story. Showers and thunderstorms looking much more widespread for Saturday. Could have some of that lingering into Sunday, looking pretty dry from Monday through Wednesday. But the Saturday-Sunday storm system going to be an interesting one as the rainfall totals could be decent for the foothills and mountains, maybe upwards of 0.4 inches of rain for the Cascades, up to 0.8 in the Blues, between generally 0.2 to 0.4 for the Blue foothills, but not much doing at all for the valleys or the basin. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Of course, we just touched on this, but the peak wind gusts for Sunday, especially in the Kittitas Valley, peaking around 60 to 65 miles per hour. But the Blue foothills of Morrow County have also become accustomed to some very breezy/windy weather this spring. Some of those peak gusts could be up around 50 miles per hour. Really across the map, all of us are either going to have to deal with breezy or windy conditions for Sunday. High temperature is going to stay about 5 to 10 degrees below average for this time of the year through Sunday. Then we start to trend more seasonal, a little bit warmer for Monday through Wednesday. Here is the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Showers likely Saturday, perhaps a leftover shower Sunday, then a very pleasant start to next week. In Yakima, maybe a shower possible during the late afternoon into the evening for today and for this evening, obviously, but another round possible Saturday, and then the winds pick back up on Sunday. In Ellensburg, showers and storms likely Saturday, another round of very strong wind gusts on Sunday, then maybe a smidge calmer to start next week. In Hermiston, maybe a sprinkle on Friday, but showers likely for Saturday, then maybe some leftover showers for Sunday. Finally, for Walla Walla, rain could still hang around on Friday, but chances for showers and thunderstorms will be much higher on Saturday.
Thanks, Josh. 5:23 and still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Dearest gentle reader, we have an update regarding the upcoming seasons of Netflix's popular show Bridgerton. Ooh, I can't wait for all those details. They're coming up in your entertainment news after the break.
When it comes to legal matters, you need someone you can trust. At Morphine Law Firm, we are sincerely grateful for the last 5 years of trust and support you've given our firm. Your trust and support have been a major driving force behind our mission for justice. We offer free consultations, and we may not always tell you what you want to hear, but we try to steer you in the right direction. We appreciate your continued trust and confidence in Morphine Law Firm.
Everybody, I know it's easy to forget things, but we don't want you to miss this new deal from US Cellular. Save big with our best price ever. Just $15 a line when you get 4 lines.
Ooh, I can save enough to buy a gift for my understanding wife.
Sorry, I'm late. Ooh, that's a great deal. I have a facial. This was fun.
Oh, come on. You have flowers? Save big with our best price ever. Just $15 a line when you get 4 lines. US Cellular, built for us.
I was a resident here. Think of me as one of you.
You're unbelievable, so unbelievable.
Prosser Memorial Health reminds you to watch Grey's Anatomy tonight. Prosser Memorial Health, this is how we care.
Ever feel like something's missing? Like there's a hole in your morning routine? Well, we've got just the thing. At Some Bagels, we make more than fresh bagels. We make a variety of baked goods to fill your day with everything you've been missing. Have your favorite coffee drink with our in-house roasted espresso beans. And enjoy your bagel with our flavored cream cheeses. Because at Some Bagels, the only thing better than the hole in the middle is everything around it. I want some, you want some, we want some, gimme Some Bagels.
To keep your home cool and comfortable all summer,
Your air conditioner needs maintenance this spring. Vance will inspect, test, and clean your AC so it's ready for hot weather. Don't take a chance. Call Vance.
Operation Best Friend, sponsored by the Manthei Group Cross Country Mortgage.
5:26. Welcome back. In your entertainment headlines this morning, we are taking a sneak peek at season 4 of Bridgerton.
And we are so excited. Also, Denzel Washington is set to have viewers on the edge of their seats with his role in a new crime thriller.
And Apple TV is set to release a new documentary this Friday. So here's David Daniel with your Hollywood Minute.
The newest clip from the next season of Bridgerton finds Benedict Bridgerton spotting the mysterious Lady in Silver, Sophie, at a masquerade ball. Season 4 of the Regency romance series is due out next year, and Netflix has already renewed the show for seasons 5 and 6. Denzel Washington is set to star in Here Comes the Flood, described as an unconventional heist movie filled with cons and double crosses. Robert Pattinson is also on board for the crime thriller, as is Daisy Edgar Jones. Production is due to begin this fall.
According to Daisy, please, you'll be all right. I won't promise sidewalk, sir.
We give up our soul in order to get a deaf president.
Deaf President Now chronicles a civil rights battle in 1988 when deaf students at Gallaudet University rebelled after the school's board appointed a hearing president over 2 deaf candidates. The week-long protest led to Gallaudet's first deaf president and helped pave the way for the Americans with Disabilities Act. The documentary Deaf President Now debuts Friday on Apple TV+. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
So I was going to ask you, as I always do after something, you know, when we're talking about different shows, if you've watched Bridgerton, but you very clearly answered that for yourself during that. When
And
you
we
said,
just gave, what's this about? And we just gave you a little recap on what it is about.
Yeah.
So are you sold yet, or do we have to convince you more?
Well, A, I thought it was a valid question. B, I appreciated your response. So I'm not, I'm still on the fence. You gotta pitch me a
Okay,
little
we
bit.
will after the break.
I'm so ready for season 4. I can't wait.
I know.
I love it. Okay, so much for ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Filing to run for Yakima's election has officially come to an end. We're learning that there are over 100 candidates that have added their names to the ballot.
But which races are important to us? Coming up, our Monique Ledesma has the details on the hottest races and breaks it all down. But first, here are your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Uber's Route Share. It's a new ride-sharing option resembling public transit. Users book a ride along a predetermined route at a certain time and save up to 50%. It's now in select cities, including New York, Chicago, and San Francisco. Netflix's ad-supported tier is rapidly growing. The streaming giant says its $7.99 monthly subscription plan now has more than 94 million subscribers. That is more than double the figure it reported just a year ago. And Netflix is also working on more ad formats like ads that pop up when you hit pause. And finally, Gen Z, taking the joy out of the smiley face. The under 30 crowd is now using the smiling emoji to express a passive-aggressive sentiment when they want to be dismissive or sarcastic. The disconnected emoji interpretations is leaving many others in the dark. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
When it comes to clogged gutters, you might say I've seen it all. Leaves, spinners, wiffle balls, you name it. Because any gutter open to the elements is gonna gather debris and clog over time. And that can cause all kinds of problems. But get Leaf Filter and the problem's solved.
Leaf Filter's patented technology keeps debris out of your gutters for the life of your home.
It's dependable, proven, tested. Like me.
So when experience matters, get Leaf Filter. Call 833-LEAF-FILTER or visit leaffilter.com.
Your brain during rush hour. Some allergy medications can make you drowsy, but Allegra is different. Traffic jam? We got this. Woo! See? On time.
Allegra is fast 24-hour allergy relief with 0% brain interference. It's a no-brainer.
New Swiffer Mop Deluxe is made for small spaces. The upgraded strip has 75% more scrubbing power. And with the new locking head, getting into tight spaces is simple.
Can I borrow it?
The all-new Swiffer Mop Deluxe, the mother of all cleans.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good Thursday morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us and joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
All right, you're still going?
He's still going.
Going strong.
I know.
Look at that.
Yep, we're up to $600 now for the 3-degree guarantee, so let's go ahead, take a look at that. Thanks once again to our good friends at the Legends Casino and Hotel.
I mean, this is a record, right?
This is a record. This is 24 days in a row, so each day after this, we'll just keep setting new records. But yeah, yesterday I went with the forecast high 72, had to sweat it out a little bit. It verified at 74, so the jackpot went up to $600. Here are the stakes for today. A little bit cooler, going with the forecast high of 70 in Pasco Tri-Cities. If it verifies between 67 to 73, the jackpot's going to go up to $625. If that doesn't happen, all $600 could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to applevalley.newsnow.com, clicking on the contest page. You can scan the QR code that's on your screen. Okay, now what's on your screen is another one of these. We've been seeing a lot of this as of late, specifically in the Kittitas Valley because of this specific forecast variable. Peak wind gusts, once again, could be between 60 to 65 miles per hour on Sunday. Now, it's still breezy for this morning, seeing some of those residual winds from yesterday out of the north and west around 30 miles per hour right now in the Kittitas Valley, out of the south and west between, I'd say, 15 to 30 miles per hour for the Blue Mountains, Blue Foothills, and the lower Columbia Basin. Temperatures right now in the 30s and 40s for lower elevation, mostly in the 40s, upper 30s right now in Sunnyside, but 30s up in the mountains. I think, well, at least for lower elevations, it's going to be much too warm to have to break out the ice scraper. Here's your hour-by-hour forecast for today for the Tri-Cities. Clouds going to be slowly but surely building throughout the day. In spite of that, we'll still end up around 70 degrees, but that is about 5 degrees cooler than normal for this time of the year. I'll take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast, and we'll touch on those wind gusts, which again aren't going to be as strong as yesterday, but still will be a factor. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Starting off this half hour with a crime alert that spanned over multiple states, a Washington resident has been arrested after a week-long manhunt. Now, according to the FBI in Seattle, 27-year-old Damian James Madison shot at Thurston County deputies while they were trying to arrest him. He hit and disabled their car, but did not hit any deputies. The Thurston County Sheriff's Office, along with state and local partners, as well as the FBI, had been trying to locate Madison, who was wanted on multiple felony charges. And Madison's mother is also facing charges for helping her son hide. He was arrested on the California-Nevada border without incident and was taken into custody.
News out of Yakima County at 5:33, where fire crews responded to a house fire in Sunnyside yesterday morning. The fire broke out just before 4 o'clock yesterday morning in the 500 block of Hornby Road in Sunnyside. Crews tell us that the fire started on the outside of the house, and the caller was actually trying to put the fire out with a garden hose when they got there. The fire had spread to the attic once fire crews got to the home. They say that the house was damaged by smoke and water pretty badly, and the roof had major damage, but luckily no one was hurt. Now, 159 candidates in Yakima County are throwing their names onto this year's 2025 primary election ballot. Yeah, so anyone else looking to add their names to the ballot, well, you're going to have to wait until next year because filing has now come to an end. Our very own Monique Ledesma breaks down some of the hottest races and how city mayors are not all elected the same way.
The primary election is August 5th, and the Yakima County Auditor says this is how it's decided as to who moves past it and locks in their name for the general election.
Once all the votes have been counted, the top 2 vote getters move on to the November election.
As to how some races gather more eyes, it has to do with the type of race the candidate is in.
County-wide elections, like where the county coroner is a county-wide office, every voter sees that question on their ballot, so a lot of times that's going to create just more energy around that question versus a small city election where, you know, it's not going to receive as much news and coverage.
The Yakima County coroner position is a race that voters can expect to see. The previous coroner, Jim Curtis, resigned from his position, leaving Marshall Slight, the deputy coroner, to fulfill his role. Slight will be running against Dan Williams, who has filed for the position. The Yakima City Council has 3 seats that are up for grabs. Yakima City Council District 2 has 2 candidates, District 4 has 4 candidates, and District 6 has 2 as well. The Yakima County Auditor says when it comes to voting for your next city council, you might not want to fill in a certain box too quickly.
These are extremely important elections because they are electing the people that are running your local community. So we always say that these small local elections are probably more important than some of the national elections because these are the people that are actually going to be making policy for your neighborhoods.
2 mayor races are set to appear on the local Yakima County ballots, the city of Mapton and the city of Zillah. Over in Mapton, Mayor Rachel Ruelas, who earlier this year was facing recall, now has 2 other people looking to take her seat. The mayor of these cities, once elected, will serve for 4 years. While these seats are voted upon by local voters, the Yakima County Auditor says some of the county's mayors are elected in a different way.
Mayor of Sunnyside is not a position. It's selected by the governing body. So it's not, there's a difference in format of government. So some towns or cities have elected mayors like Mapton, right? It's a position of itself. So you elect the mayor for 4 years, where these other cities like Yakima, you don't elect a mayor for Yakima. The city council appoints one. Very, very different.
Yakima County overseas and military ballots get mailed out June 20th. Regular ballots get mailed out July 18th. Monique Ledesma, your voice, your vote, Apple Valley News Now.
All right, Monique, thanks so much. Another hot race in the upcoming primary election is the seat for mayor of Mapton. Despite a recall action being started for the current mayor, she decided she's not ready to give up her title. She is running for re-election. But she isn't running uncontested. 2 other candidates are also throwing their names into the race. As for that recall, the Yakima County Auditor says it will no longer be moving forward.
The petitioners failed to turn in the required number of signatures by the legal deadline as per RCW. So, by law, once you miss that cutoff, then we can't process signatures.
Yakima County Auditor says the deadline for those signatures was May 4th, and they were not submitted until May 12th.
In education news this morning, a social studies teacher at Legacy High School in Kennewick has been selected as a 2025 Auschwitz Legacy Fellow. Now, Valdez was chosen as only one of 4 educators from Washington. 44 fellows across 13 states will participate in this fully sponsored year-long professional development program, and it's focused on educating the next generation about the Holocaust and also includes a week-long trip to Poland. The program equips educators with resources and knowledge to teach their students about critical lessons.
Looking at Washington legislation, a new law will expand qualifications for acts that are considered animal cruelty. So this legislation aims to provide more accountability, consistent enforcement, and increasing penalties for any repeat violators. The crime of animal fighting now also includes anyone who is connected to it, and anyone convicted will be prohibited from possessing, residing, owning, or caring for any animal. The definition of animal cruelty in the second degree has been expanded to also include circumstances for those who engage in, willfully instigate, or further an act of animal cruelty. Still much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. When we come back, we have your consumer reports. And also, we're going to check back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth. It's 5:39, giving you a live look outside from our Legends Casino and Hotel Skycam at Richlands Columbia Point. It's a beautiful start to your Thursday, and Josh will let us know what we can expect, not only for today, but for the rest of the week. We're back after the break.
Early warnings, accurate forecasts.
Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather.
Ryan wants to get every new device that's smart. I'm wondering, how can the internet handle all of this?
We have Spectrum Internet. We use it for everything. Homework, remote work from home, doing research for trips.
Spectrum Internet allows us to do things faster and more conveniently.
I feel like that's a win-win for everybody.
Fast, reliable internet.
saved is a lifetime earned. Numerica Credit Union. Money where it matters.
Hi, I'm Debbie Robertson. It's time for the Nissan Summer Sales Event, and it's happening now at Bill Robertson Nissan. We've ordered extra cars and trucks for this event, and they're all on sale now. Plus, we have really great deals on all of our best-selling SUVs. Nissan Rogues for only $326 per month. And best of all, we're offering 1.9% APR for 72 months on all new Nissan Pathfinders. Come see us today for the Nissan Summer Sales Event at Bill and Debbie Robertson Nissan.
Hi there, I'm Stacy Lee, and it's time again for the Great American Flag Swap. Bring your worn or tattered U.S. flag to Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking in Kennewick this Tuesday between 11 and 2 and swap it for a brand new Made in the USA American flag.
At Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking, we take pride in honoring the American flag. As Memorial Day approaches, we remember those who have served for our country. Our commitment to quality craftsmanship, superior service, and community support is a reflection of our love for this great nation. Join us this Memorial Day in honoring those who serve.
Bill Belichick. Everyone's talking about the former New England Patriot and now University of North Carolina football coach and legend. Now this week, he's live on GMA. Michael Strahan with Bill Belichick, the morning exclusive, Friday, live on Good Morning America.
Jenna, what are you doing? No one's leaving until you fix my daughter.
I've come to talk with you.
There's a hostage situation. She's holding an explosive.
That's my family in there.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today isn't going to be as windy as yesterday, but it's still going to be windy out there as we'll have peak gust around 45 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. Showers looking like they'll be around 40% in the Cascades. Shower chances, that is. Shower chances around 10% in the Kittitas and Yakima Valleys. And if we did see those showers today, it would be during the late afternoon, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Other than that, we'll have highs near 70 degrees in the Yakima Valley. These peak gusts out of the north and west around 25 miles per hour, up around 35 miles per hour out of the west and southwest for the lower Columbia Basin. Should be dry here for today. And then for the Blue Foothills, also dry, but partly to mostly cloudy skies, and still some windy conditions in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County, gusting out of the west and northwest. Highs in the Blue Mountains only getting up into the 50s. Now let's talk about the big picture. As we start to go into fire season, it's not officially fire season yet, but we're starting to take a look at some of that data. Here is today's vegetation dryness forecast. Remember, the 100th percentile would be the driest vegetation we've had since 2005. So we're up into the 59th percentile for Kittitas and Yakima counties, 42nd percentile in the lower valley, the lower Columbia Basin and Blue Foothills, 36th percentile in the Blue Mountains. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not that dry. It is dry enough to have some small vegetation fires, but again, Kittitas and Yakima counties running away from the rest of the viewing area in that regard. Thankfully, some rainfall is going to be on the way for this weekend. It's going to help out with these numbers. I'll show you some of those chances coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Josh. 5:44 in your consumer news this morning. We've all seen prices at the grocery store going up. But what if you're being charged even more than you should be?
A new investigation is looking into whether some supermarkets are overcharging customers at checkout, and we're learning that it's not just a few cents.
Yeah, Rhiannon Alley has the story on what's being done and what shoppers can watch out for.
Grocery prices are high enough these days, but this morning, Consumer Reports says supermarkets across the country are overcharging customers for some products marked as being on sale.
In about half of the stores we looked at, there were significant price tag errors.
Their investigation found widespread price label errors at 26 Kroger-owned grocery stores in more than a dozen states.
We found that most of the expired price tags led to overcharges at checkout. The average overcharge was $1.70 per item, which basically rounds up to about 18% per item, which is significant.
They looked into everything from beef, salmon, coffee, juice, vegetables, even cough medicine and dog food. One major factor in these pricing errors? Too many labels to keep up with. Some stores have as many as 15,000 discount tags displayed at one time.
Sometimes a lot of these folks are only working 20, 25 hours a week. This is a heavy, labor-intensive job.
In response, Kroger said it's committed to affordable and accurate pricing and regularly conducts price checks that review millions of items weekly to ensure our shelf prices are accurate. Kroger isn't alone. In 2022, a shopper sued Walmart for alleged overcharging. And this past October, Safeway, Albertsons, and Vons paid nearly $4 million to settle a lawsuit claiming they were overcharging customers more than the lowest advertised price. Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
Now, more stores are testing digital price tags to help with this problem.
Yeah, so the takeaways here: consider snapping photos of any sale tags and closely review your receipts. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. We have your morning sprint. Everything you need to know as you head out the door this morning. Giving you a live look from the Dust Devils camera in Pasco. Beautiful blue skies. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your full First Alert forecast right after the break. It's 5:46.
Discover the joy of music with a new Yamaha piano from Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos, where elegance meets opportunity. For a limited time, enjoy 24 months of 0% financing on qualified new Yamaha pianos. From timeless grands to cutting-edge digitals, Yamaha delivers beauty, precision, and playability. Visit Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos in the Uptown Shopping Center in Richland, or call 509-567-3113. Life's more fun when you know how to play.
Got a family reunion in the works? Make it unforgettable at Beaver Valley Lodge. With cozy rooms, beautiful mountain views, and plenty of space to gather, it's the perfect place to reconnect and make new memories. Book direct with us and get 10% off. That means more savings for barbecues, bonfires, and all those late-night laughs. So skip the middleman and book direct today, because great reunions start with the perfect place to stay. Beaver Valley Lodge. Come as a guest and leave as a friend.
Hi, I'm Rowdy with Total Energy Management. For 40 years, we've been keeping the Tri-Cities comfortable with top-notch heating and air conditioning services. We take pride in delivering exceptional service and unbeatable deals. Right now, you can save big with up to $4,900 in rebates and tax credits on a new Carrier heating and cooling system. So turn to the experts at Total Energy Management to ensure your house is the perfect temperature year-round. Visit TEMINC.com or call 946-4500 to learn more.
Hey, your homework done?
Yep.
Hey, is your homework done?
This kind of is homework. So, what do you think?
I'm so proud of you. Can I play some more?
Is all your work done?
Washington's Lottery is a proud partner in the goal to promote college and career training. Each time you play, you're helping students statewide.
The Hiawatha Trail on Fly the Northwest, Tuesday. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Sunday going to be another First Alert weather day in the Kittitas Valley. Peak wind gusts between 60 to 65 miles per hour. So same song. It's like the third or fourth verse at this point. All right, let's go ahead and show you the run up to that. We start off with today, 12 p.m. You'll notice not much on Futurecast, clouds building though. Then by 4 p.m., this is when some showers could start to arrive in the Cascades, maybe trickling down into the Kittitas or Yakima valleys. Then by the mid to late evening, this is 8 p.m., some of that starting to get into the lower Columbia Basin. It'll drift down into the Blue Foothills and Blue Mountains a little bit after that, situated on top of those locations around midnight. Then after that, really not much on Futurecast. Could have a few leftover showers in the foothills or mountains throughout the day for tomorrow, but it should end up being a pretty dry day for most spots. That is not going to be the case on Saturday, though, as we have another storm system that's going to bring us widespread chances of showers and thunderstorms, some of that lingering into Sunday, and then we look much drier from Monday through Wednesday. But for that Saturday, Sunday storm system, could have around half an inch of rainfall in the Cascades. You can maybe round up to an inch of rainfall in the Blue Mountains, between 0.2 to 0.4 for the Blue Foothills. Not much at all for the valleys or for the basin. But once again, winds are probably going to be the biggest impact from this round, especially on Sunday. Some of those peak gusts, like I mentioned, around 65 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, but really across the map, we'll have breezy and windy conditions. Again, just to point out the Blue Foothills of Morrow County again, some of those peak gusts around 50 miles per hour. Get the gist. We've had a lot of that this spring. High temperature is going to stay about 5 to 10 degrees cooler than normal through Sunday. Then we start to inch our way back up closer to that seasonal line for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Showers likely Saturday, perhaps a leftover shower Sunday, then a very pleasant start to next week. In Yakima, maybe a shower possible during the late afternoon into the evening, so that would be for this afternoon and this evening, and another round is going to be possible on Saturday. Then the winds pick back up on Sunday. For Ellensburg, showers and storms likely Saturday, another round of very strong wind gusts on Sunday. That's why we're going with the first alert weather day, then maybe a smidge calmer to start next week. In Hermiston, perhaps a sprinkle on Friday, but showers likely for Saturday, and then perhaps another leftover shower for Sunday. Then in Walla Walla, rain could still hang around on Friday, but chances for showers and thunderstorms will be much higher on Saturday.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is now 5:52. It's time for your morning sprint in our 5 o'clock hour.
And we start with the top 5 local things that you need to know this morning. One person was taken to the hospital after a school bus and a truck crashed in Kennewick just yesterday afternoon. The crash happened just before 2 p.m. right at the intersection of 10th Street and Clearwater. Now, there were some kids on the bus. They were treated for minor injuries. No one was seriously injured. Police say this is just a reminder to always stay alert, especially at busy intersections.
And in Richland, the school board voted unanimously to repeal a policy focused on race and curriculum. The board says it still values diverse representation in the classroom and supports teaching history from a nonpartisan, factual standpoint.
A political shakeup in Mabton as the current mayor, facing a recall effort, announces she'll seek re-election. 2 challengers are also in the running, but the recall won't move forward. Yakima County Auditor says petitioners missed the May 4th deadline to turn in the required signatures.
6 Kennewick schools were honored by the Washington School Recognition Program for their performance this school year, and those include Amistad, Cottonwood, Southgate, Vista, Westgate, and Endeavor. They're being recognized for their achievement, growth, and also for closing opportunity gaps.
And before wildfire season officially kicks off, the American Red Cross is preparing to let communities stay safe. This Saturday, volunteers are going to go door to door in Yakima's Meadowbrook Estates to educate residents there on the wildfire risks and preventions. It all starts at 9 a.m.
In your national headlines this morning, peace talks between Russia and Ukraine, which are set to take place in Turkey, will be missing a key element, Vladimir Putin. The Kremlin has confirmed its president will not attend the talks, and the announcement also kills speculation that Putin would meet face-to-face with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky, and that means Zelensky could reconsider his attendance. However, even without the leaders, a meeting would mark progress.
5:54 in your business headlines this morning. Boeing has secured a deal with Qatar for up to 210 jets worth $96 billion. White House is calling it the aircraft maker's largest ever wide-body order. It's part of an economic deal totaling more than $243 billion between the U.S. and Qatar. The sale also comes as Qatar's prime minister dismissed controversy surrounding President Trump's plan to accept a Boeing 747-8 to be used as Air Force One.
In your health headlines this morning, drug overdose deaths are down significantly in the U.S., and data from the CDC finds there were about 30,000 fewer OD deaths in 2024 compared to the previous year. That's a 27% drop, and the 80,000 plus overdose deaths last year is the lowest level in 5 years, and the decline comes following a surge to record levels during the pandemic. Data shows synthetic opioids, primarily fentanyl, continue to be involved in most OD deaths.
5:55 in your sports headlines this morning. Seattle Mariners playing against the New York Yankees for a final time yesterday. Mariners putting up a strong fight, but in the end, they lost to the Yankees. Final score 3-2. Seattle is setting its sights on San Diego, playing the Padres tomorrow.
Trending this morning, you won't find a baby named King in New Zealand.
Okay, it topped the list of baby names rejected by the country's Registrar General.
Interesting. So New Zealand policies birth names under New Zealand police's birth names under its strict registration law. According to the law, baby names must not be offensive, unreasonably long, or include numbers or symbols.
Is that any of those categories, King? I guess it is. Well, they also cannot resemble official titles and ranks without adequate justification. Okay, there it is. And number 2 on the list of top banned baby names is Prince.
So last year, the country registered 60,000 births. 38 proposed names were rejected. Most of them had some sort of royal link.
This makes me want to ask you guys what names you hate.
Oh gosh.
But maybe I shouldn't. Never mind. Let's talk about names
I don't want to alienate any of our viewers.
Yeah.
Who'd you throw out the other? Oh, Jake.
Jessica.
Well, we were talking about like younger
popular
names that one day, like if you're president or if you're a grandpa or something, and I just said like if your name's Bryson, like you're gonna be Grandpa Bryson.
You said Grandpa Jake.
I said Grandpa Jake, so now I just offended Brysons out there as well. Oh man, I'm digging myself a deep hole.
Not offensive. It's like a cool name. So thinking of like your grandpa.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, most grandpas are cool, but
Pops Bryce.
Exactly.
Pops Bryce. There you go. I know we were just talking about how naming children is so hard, so stressful.
I have names picked out, but I think most people do, and then it changes. Is what I hear all the time. Yeah.
It's King and Queen.
And Prince.
And Prince.
Yeah.
And Apple. Just kidding.
Oh, so much right ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up at 6, a house fire in Sunnyside had a resident trying to put it out with a garden hose. We have the details coming up.
Plus, Rihanna is dropping some new music. Finally, some Fenty music. We have when it's coming out, coming up in your 6 o'clock hour. And Josh, what are you tracking?
We are tracking some showers for tonight, another round of showers and thunderstorms for Saturday, and more winds for Sunday. I'll tell you who can see the brunt of that coming up on Good Morning Northwest at 6.